So speaking of streaming, we're talking about streaming a lot on the large amount of time that we've been on the air of these past what is it, two decades, 2 shows, 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. We're doing this for a very long time, Tristan. So we're talking about now HIDIVE streaming Ushio and Tora, and it's the English dub, which are our good old friends at HIDIVE. I don't know. It's funny because here's what's really beautiful, right? Remember, you and I talked up this thing so much, right? We're talking about like splitting it, along with I think it was you coming over. You're getting a hot dog. We're getting some popcorn. I think we talked about that, right? We're splitting that, and we're splitting this thing for like $2 each, right? Yeah. No, but because although to be fair, I don't know if it's still running that promotion because it's funny. It's $4 right now. If it goes higher than 8, right? I'm sure it's worth it, but my point is this, right? Is that just like we talked it up last time about the fact that it has English dubs, which, you know, if everyone knows after listening to these past 2 shows, I am a fan of at least having the option and giving people the option. So the fact that this is a streaming service that's offering this English dubbed, I want to make sure here on a weekly basis. Now, yes, to be very fair, it's not super new like the show itself. It came out in 2015 on Crunchyroll, but it came out subbed. And that's the point of this. This will be airing every Wednesday at 1 p.m. with, wait a minute. No, hold on a second. I'm confused. It's airing. Oh, okay, sorry. The dubbed version, the first episode, is available already. And new episodes will be available every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Oh, it's streaming both. I'm looking at this article, and I'm like, wait, what? I thought it was streaming at 1 p.m. It was actually streaming the Japanese version, which is streaming it in general. But at 1 p.m. on Wednesdays is when they will actually air new dubbed episodes. And again, it's really funny because everyone's moving on, and I would argue everyone, if not, a large chunk of people, especially the younger people, are moving on to streaming as a source of getting their entertainment. But I still have to admit, and it might just be the retro in me, right? All the games we play on our Those Guys Play channel, all the older stuff that we talk about through Those Guys on the radio, it might be the retro in me, the hipster, because I'm so close to Brooklyn. But in a way, I do enjoy the idea of going, oh man, this is going to come on at 6:30. Cool, it's going to come on at this time of the day. Now, granted, I love my DVR, because if I'm like, I don't want to sit there at 9 exactly. Maybe I want to speed through some commercials, right? I do like having the DVR option with my cable, but I still think that I really enjoyed, like what I enjoy so much from thinking back to Toonami, and of course Toonami's still on the air, right? But thinking back to Toonami was being able to go, oh, I'm coming home from school, and I get to now watch Toonami. And knowing, you and I can still sit back and go, DBZ was on at 5, and Rurouni Kenshin was on at 6, and 5:30, or actually, Rurouni Kenshin was on at 6:30, because at 6 was a Yu Yu Hakusho. Or, sometimes it was on at 5. It's funny. I get a little bit confused as I'm talking about remembering everything. I get a little bit confused because at one point Toonami was on from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
Or at least, It was
the block shifted a bit here and there.
Yes. Well, because I'm talking about the block before it went to like 9 on Saturdays, right? So I'm talking about like the daily. Yeah, the daily stuff. Right. So the daily stuff was like 4 to 7, and then they cut the 4 to 7, like the 4 to 5 part, which had like Zoids and Sailor Moon. And I think it was like Zoids New Century. But they cut Zoids and Sailor Moon, and then they just had like DBZ at 5, just starting us off with a friggin' bang. But yeah, so the point is that I loved that. I loved being able to come home and see like the kids WB, right? Like I was like, yeah, Jackie Chan Adventures, all that stuff, and it was on a schedule. And while things have changed, right, well, you can sit there and go, oh, I want to just watch this whenever I want to, which, believe me, if people tell me, because if anyone's online, it's going to be like, but I thought Matt was the guy that, likes the way things are now and doesn't like the way old things were. I do, but a schedule is still pretty cool, to give people that sense of, I guess, normalcy, right? Just, that's like an actual schedule, an itinerary, being able to plan out their day around things, because I do have to admit in some way, I might not do something, or it might be harder for me to do something. I'm sure the same can happen to you if you're not told, okay, this is happening now, or it's not, right? Where you're like, oh, I could just watch this at 7. I don't have to watch this now. Yeah. And then 7 rolls along, and you're like, well, I don't have to watch this now. I can watch it in 5 minutes. And all of a sudden, you're like, it is currently 2 in the morning the next day.
Right.
I needed to watch this already for the podcast. Tristan has already seen it, and he's very upset. That's basically how it works.
So, wait, you were saying that this could happen to me as well. So in the sense of, I'm disappointed in myself for not watching it for the cast with myself.
Yes, correct. That is exactly. I'm happy you understand how it goes.
I'm glad
Tristan.
I caught the subtlety in that, yeah.
I'm glad that you did. But anyway, so the point is that
I have been cut from those.
Yes. Tristan has been let go. And I've actually brought on a man. His name is Honda, and he is replacing you. But anyway, so obviously, look, right? The show's already out, right? It was already streamed by Crunchyroll, and Sentai Filmworks already has it on DVD. So for some of you that are like, oh, Sentai Filmworks will release the DVD on August 29th. So it actually hasn't come out yet, right? In terms of compared to its stream, it hasn't come out yet. So, I mean, the same way that Dragon Ball Z, Funimation rather, delayed their release of Dragon Ball Z Kai: The Final Chapters, to then have it on Toonami alongside Super, and now they're releasing those DVDs. So, I mean, that's actually pretty cool that doesn't exist yet for any of you that want it, physical, and want it with that dub. Well, the dub doesn't actually exist yet, and you can watch it through HIDIVE. So I think that was a very interesting acquisition, and the reason why I wanted to mention is because, again, I'm a big fan of them showing dubs, and I know that, we actually should do a review of the service itself, because it's funny, as much as we talked them up last time, I haven't even looked at the service since. So I feel like we should look into it. Maybe again split it with that New York City hot dog.
Right.
That will cost almost half of the subscription, depending on where you get it. If we split it for $1.50 each, hot dog can go for $3, depending on where you are in Manhattan.
But Matt, you can't eat a subscription.
That's true. We can't eat a subscription. One would imagine. No, but all seriously, that is witty commentary. That's why you haven't been fired yet, Honda. Tristan's already gone, but Honda, you're right here. Anyway, please tell me you know why I'm calling you Honda.
Why.
Okay, good. Everyone, he knows why. Anyway, but seriously though, Tristan, how do you feel about this? I feel like I should ask you, how do you...
I mean, for me, it's nice to see, another streaming service that's still building their library. It's getting different acquisitions. And even if it is something older, there's always going to be people that are like, oh, they didn't check that out, or maybe they don't want to get the DVD right away because they're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this series. I just want to check it out. I know I've been in that position before too, or even just the sense of I missed it the first time around.
Yes, and what's really good about that too is, like you were just mentioning, yes, of course, if someone is sub-only, they've probably already made their decision. But if someone's looking at it from a dub perspective, well, again, it doesn't exist yet. Right? The dub doesn't exist. So you'll watch the first episode, assumingly through HIDIVE, and if you do, then you're like, oh, well, then I want the DVD now. I'm not going to wait every week. You're obviously like, I don't need to wait every week. So you get the DVD and then you're happy. So, yeah, and also, by the way, I think I mentioned this last time when we were talking about Gintama, actually, Gintama live action movie, where I was talking about how I feel like there needs to be more English dubs in general, and now Sentai Filmworks, I don't believe maybe they've started doing more English dubs, but usually they just kind of copy-paste from the Crunchyroll script with a few edits here and there, but it's basically the Crunchyroll script on DVD, and that's it, just bare bones, sub only. I'm actually happy they've been doing more English dubs. I don't know any other ones off the top of my head, but I know they've been doing a few more. But I'm really happy about this dub because, you know, I was going to check it out. I was going to check it out before it was dubbed because when I heard about this, I thought, oh, it looks pretty cool. But now I definitely want to check it out. Or at very least show it to some people. So, you know, I think that, and you were mentioning how they were building up their library. Because another thing, too, by the way, if anyone's like, well, you know, it's already 2 years old. HIDIVE's like 2 months old or something, right? Like, HIDIVE, like, just became a thing. So I think, you know, we'll have to see what the future holds for this streaming service. Again, if it's too expensive and Crunchyroll exists, I don't know, you know, what might happen. But I mean, I mentioned last time, they already got Garo, which is a tokusatsu show for any of you that don't know. Funimation actually picked up the Garo anime. But yeah, there's a, you know, tokusatsu, Japanese superhero stuff, and they got English dubs along with Japanese, you know, subs as well, or dubs as well. It might work. I don't know. I hope we don't have another Daisuke in our hands. You know, I was really sad when that left. So, I mean, you know, this might actually work. And that's pretty cool for them. So, good for them.